Hey friends, I'm Kim Bakaev. Recently I was reading in 2 Kings. I just love the Old Testament, I guess because I love history, and so hearing all the stories and trying to see what God is trying to teach me through these old stories. But I was recently reading about Naaman. Remember, he was a commander and he was very successful. He had overcome armies, but he had leprosy. And he probably had that for a long time. It wasn't just a cold that he got, but probably something he'd been struggling for a long time. And no matter how successful he was in other areas, this is not something he could fix by himself. Well, he had a servant girl who was from Israel. His wife did. And so she had suggested, you know what? God's with Israel, so why don't you go check them out to see if they can help you out? And so, sure, when you're desperate, you kind of go anywhere. And so he went and sent a letter to the king of Israel. The king of Israel, instead of seeing this as an opportunity to go like, let me help this guy and show what God can do, he freaks out and gets all stressed out. Well, then Elisha, the prophet at the time, gets word of how the king reacted and said, what are you doing? Send him my way. So Naaman and his servants go to Elisha's door. Elisha sends a messenger, we know the story, and tells him, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go dip in the river 7 times. So the messenger sends the message back to Naaman, and you'd think he'd be fantastic. Someone has an answer for me, because there's no cure for leprosy, we know. But what is his reaction? He gets angry. He's offended. He's ticked off that he would have to do something so seemingly ridiculous, so seemingly beneath him. It wasn't what he wanted. And he had a servant who had the courage to say, well, sir, if he asked you to do something great, you would have done it. Maybe give this a chance. And so he listened to wise counsel, and he did it. And as we know, on the 7th time, he came up clean with no leprosy. My challenge to you today is think, is there something that you've been struggling with for a long time? I'm not talking maybe something recent, but maybe there's something deep inside of you, whether it's anxiety, maybe it's unforgiveness, maybe it's a relationship that you just can't get past and go forward with. And you just don't know what to do. You've asked the Lord to heal this. You've asked the Lord for his help. But maybe he's asking you to do something that you just really don't want to do. It could be, you know what, you need to see a counselor. You need to be in something long term. We would all love that magic pill to just fix us like that. But maybe God is asking you to do something that you don't want to do that offends you. Maybe he wants you to join a Celebrate Recovery group to get at some things that are deeper than you even thought were on the surface problem. And that's like a year commitment. That's a big commitment. Maybe he wants you to go seek prayer. Maybe he wants you to go to someone and ask forgiveness. I encourage you to be open. Had Naaman not listened to wise counsel, someone who took a step to say like, why not try it? What do you have to lose? He would still have leprosy. So I encourage you today, be willing to do the things that maybe scare you, that seem beneath you, that seem like that won't work, and see what God can do.